What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Bry2J Presents. I'm your host, Bry2J, and today I'm presenting to you the Mezco Toyz New York Comic Con 2019 exclusive, the 112 Stealth Ops Gomez. This is technically the fourth Gomez in the States, and there were two others that were not released to make six total. I really wish I could get a hold of Shadow Assassin Gomez because he looks really cool, and I want all the versions of this bug. Anyway, it's the only bug that I like. So this being technically the fourth US release, and that's because of the Toy Fair one being first, and then the re-release Toy Fair for those that missed out, and then the San Diego Comic-Con Street Edition, follow up by the New York Comic-Con Edition. So it's a lot of Gomez, but he's actually a really cool looking piece. I'm still going to Comic-Con. This was only halfway through, and this is just an amazing piece. There was a pre-order for this figure, and it went, but there was a wait list. I was lucky enough to pick this up at the show yesterday. Well, yesterday being the first day of Comic-Con, not sure when you're watching this video. Anyway, I've rambled on a bit much. I'm sorry, I do that. But typically, before I announce it or whatever, I have the figure out and pose them with the box. This time I wanted to do something a little bit different. So feast your eyes on this nice tin that Gomez comes in. As you can see, Gomez has the official Mezco seal of approval on the middle right, and the O in Gomez is his face. And you can see there's a couple of bullet holes that are on the left and right side of the tin. Next up, you have this here, and this is really cool. More bullet holes there, and a nice artist rendition of Agent Gomez in stealth mode. I do like the buckles here, and of course the handle. This really reminds me of an old school lunchbox. Only thing that's missing is a peanut butter sandwich and a thermos. Now I wish it came complete. Anyway, so, and don't kid yourself there. I might actually take this as a lunchbox to work one of these days. But, yeah, all joking aside. Next up, on the side here, you have this really nice picture of Gomez using his boombox as leverage, and some hearts. This looks really cool. And again, another bullet hole. On the back here, a lot more work. I want to say this was also the stuff used in the comic book that came with the re-release of Agent Gomez in the suit. You can see the bottom here. I'll lift this up. This looks really, really cool. It almost looks like a homage to Ultraman fighting a Godzilla-type creature. And you can see the Shadow Gomez fighting some ninjas over here. Looks really, really nice. This image right here is probably one of my favorites. And then the really nice rendition of a bridge and the shadows of the Gomez family. And other things, I can't tell. But that's there. And then over here, I want to say the unofficial name is Pig Brute for this. But Gomez putting the chokehold, and you can see it says snap, so clearly he killed him. And then hidden right there is the Mezco logo. It's kind of hard to see, and I'm sorry for my crappy lighting. But yeah, this is really, really, really cool. Alright, now to open this bad boy up and see what's inside. So before I start talking about the figure, I just want to briefly discuss the accessories. And I will, of course, go over them in fuller detail later on. And I would also like to thank Mezco for making this video possible. And I also want to give a nice big accommodation to their engineering team as they designed this accordion to fit inside a tin that also had a figure in there. So that's really awesome. Alright, so this figure is basically Kit Bash, but it works. And it's mostly a Gomez figure with other weapons and stuff from other figures. But it's cool. It works for this figure. The hands are all Gomez, as are the poster and the decals in that little baggie. The duffel bag is from the San Diego Punisher. The pistol above with the mag is from Netflix Punisher. The Noisy Cricket-like gun, the sword and sheath, that are Gomez. The wristwatch is Street Gomez, but it's also Diabolic. The assault rifle is Deathstroke, as is the submachine gun being Blade, so those are reuse. Move over. I got the hoverboard, which is Gomez. The triple bullet effect, which is Punisher, from both San Diego and Netflix. The middle blast effect is Gomez, Blade. The single bullet effect is, well, everybody with a gun. The suction cups, Diabolic. The C4 and the detonator, PX Punisher. The grapple hook, the Dark Knight. The bow and arrows and the group of arrows, that would all be Green and Red Arrow, or Arsenal, if you want to get technical. The knife, Netflix Punisher. The boombox, the grenades, which almost have a Punisher-like face to it. The sniper rifle, that's all Gomez. And lastly, the red scarf, 5 Ronin Wolverine, and then later Street Gomez. The backpack being Street Gomez, and of course the display stand and the arm being, technically Gomez because it's Gomez's logo. And then, really quick, Gomez himself, the vest is Netflix Punisher. So with that being said, now let's talk about Gomez. And here's Gomez, and I have to say, Mezco did it again. And even though it's basically Gomez once again, and weapons and stuff from other figures, they made it work, and that's awesome. So, I got this guy on Thursday. I got there very early Thursday morning at the show. So if I sound really tired in this video, I apologize. I'm trying to be as energetic as one can be, especially because I really like the figure. I'm not talking like this because the figure is bad. No, I love this thing. I'm talking really slow at points because right now it's Sunday. It's a few hours after showroom has closed, and I've been home for about 3 hours now. And got to freshen up and have dinner and see what, remember what my legs feel like after walking around for so long. Yeah, show was great. But yeah, back to Gomez. Gomez, I got on Thursday morning, courtesy of my wonderful ACBA family. They helped me get this guy. And then we also went out and had a great time on Saturday night, in celebration of just us getting together because we're all from different parts of the country, and it's but once a year that we get to see each other, at least most of us. So yeah, back to the figure. So I stated before that this is also reuse. Here is the John Bernthal Punisher that came out a few months ago, and you can see that this has the skull and brown, and the rivets are painted. And this does not. It's just a gray wash over the vest. They made it work. And why not? If you have a great design for a tack vest, reuse it, right? I would. And the figure itself is just great. I don't mind that it's another Gomez, because as much as it's Gomez again, it's an awesome character. I love the Toy Fair one. It's one of my favorite pieces ever. This San Diego Street Edition is also a phenomenal figure, and it's one of those figures where I don't know which one I like better, and now I have Stealth Ops in the mix, and I'm like, what do I do? Which one do I want to take to work? Anyway, so Gomez is awesome, and the vest is that same hard plastic as Punisher, so it's going to hinder the articulation a bit. And I'll get into that in a moment. But let's take a closer look at his head. This is awesome, right? So it's the same default head sculpt that we've gotten with other Gomez's, but now it's in a black with a gray wash, and they made it theirs. It looks so different. It's almost like Gomez is wearing a mask or whatever you want to choose. It's your imagination, and that's what Mezco did. Mezco took their mascot and made him in multiple different forms, and I really wish I was able to get my hands on those shadow editions, but they're overseas only, and I'm not spending $400 per figure on the third party market. Yeah, it's great, and they basically said, hey kid, or hey adult, use your imagination and pose, play, and display, and that's what we do, right? The eyes, I can't tell if there's something behind it, but it gives that marbleization effect, and that looks really cool. And if I angle it in the light, my light above almost looks like pupils, and it's kind of creepy, no? So yeah, the vest hinders the articulation there, and I'm going to take it off and show you guys. What you want to do is take the head off, and then there's these buckles right on the side there, like little plastic pegs, I mean. And then you just kind of slide. It's the same as sliding off the Punisher vest, although it's a little bit on the trickier side because the neck peg is a little bit bigger, at least in my opinion. Because, well, I mean, yeah, Punisher has a single head neck combo, and this is what we all like better, but, yeah, let me put this on, and as you can see, Gomez sporting his beautiful turtleneck that he bought at Banana Republic, and the cargo pants are from Old Navy, but don't tell anybody. So, yeah, this is a great figure, and it's on the Spider-Man body, which I'm now going to call the Gomez body, because if Gomez is going to be their new hot toy, it's perfect, you know? So with the head and the neck being separate, you got these to go like this, and expressiveness, looks down, looks back. These articulate, they can go side to side and up and down. They're on a little peg system. These do not move, so you don't want to break these. The arms can go out really far, right? And you can see the bunching of the fabric, and that's so you don't have any less chance of ripping it, okay? So the arm can go back about that far, rotate it back around, so you can see the fabric is bunching, but you can get them to do a good amount of posing here. Butterfly joint, beautiful double jointed elbows, and the hinge and swivel wrist peg. So basically you can pop the wrist off and make it go left and right or up and down, whatever you want to do. The diaphragm can go in, crunches in pretty far, goes back pretty far, side to side. With the waist articulation as well, you can get them to really get in there and do some stuff. And I really love this figure. I honestly don't know which one I like more. Help me decide. So with the belt is there. I want to say that's thread, or is it floating? I don't. I think it's sewn in, but very, very hidden, and that's cool. As for the legs, he can split pretty far, considering cargo pants. You know, and they made it where they gave that little bit of extra room to do that. You can have him go kick up about that far, back about that far. He does have a nice swivel at the thigh, beautiful double jointed knees. The top of the boot rotates. There's beautiful ankle pivot on this figure. The magnets are not hidden this time. They're right on the bottom of the boots, and you got treads and peg holes. So yeah, really, really awesome piece. With that being said, now let me talk about the accessories in better detailing. Okay, so earlier I showed you guys 5 full trays of accessories. That's right, I said 5 full trays. And how I'm going to do this, I think, is I'm going to show you Gomez accessories first. That's every accessory we've gotten with Gomez in the past. And then I'm going to show you all the other accessories. So the first accessory that I'm going to show you is the secondary head. this being in white and black. And honestly, this might be my favorite look of these heads. Something about it just kind of has a Punisher vibe to it, like an alien Punisher. I mean, my imagination, right? I could do what I want. There is some marbleization behind the eyes, and these do rotate side to side. They cannot bend down, so don't do that. You don't want to break it. But yeah, it looks really, really cool. I do really like the black wash a lot. Next up for the heads, the longer roach face, or roach head. And this is in gray with a black wash. Also the nice marbleization. These do not rotate or bend down, so don't do that. And this looks really good as well. Now it's time for hands. First hand I'm going to show you is the I'm from New York hand. And then we're going to go with that. Next up is the grenade holding hand. Then we have a hand for grip, like the bottom of a gun. A nice wide open trigger finger hand. We have what looks like a wider hand as well for trigger. And you could have them kind of dual wield, it looks like. Looks pretty good. My favorite of the hands is that expressiveness with the I don't care, I'm from New York, but saying it without doing any middle finger action. These look really good. Then you have a pair of pointing. This is a right-handed single and a left-handed double finger. And then lastly, a pair of grip hands, like swords and the attaché case. Next up, you have a pair of his grenades, and this is why I said the thing about the Punisher, because if you look at the face on the grenade, it almost looks like an alien version of the Punisher logo, and that looks really cool. You have his noisy cricket-like gun. There's the official name for it, and I'm blanking, because again, Comic-Con kind of ruined me. But yeah. Looks really good. I like it best in black, I think. It's kind of shiny in some parts and matte on the other. Like shiny where the metal would be, and matte where like the handle and stuff would be. That's pretty cool. Gomez wouldn't be Gomez without his trusty sword. This time in all black. And of course the buckle does undo or unclip. I'm not going to do it now, but it does. Gomez wouldn't be Gomez without his trusty hoverboard, and this looks awesome in black. And I do like the texture a lot on the top end of this board. It feels really cool. But yeah, this is so incredible looking. Gomez has his lovely boombox attaché, and what you do here is you lift the handle up, and then from the back you slide it up, and then you can open it. And I have configuration 1 in there, and that's where you take apart the sniper rifle and put it all in here. Configuration 2 is this one here, and that looks like it's for one of the grenades, part of the sniper rifle when it's just the blaster, the snub nose, and the clip. So yeah, and you take one out and put it in as you want to go. Gomez has the Street Edition backpack. This lifts up. You can store stuff in here. And then these don't open, but this has the elastic here, and you can slide something in. Gomez, of course, has his decals for his boombox and the poster for the target. He has the wristwatch. I wasn't sure if to put this in with the diabolic stuff or all the other weapons, but since Street Edition Gomez had this in white, I counted it toward here. But here you go. It's a black wristwatch. If it's like the other ones, it says 112 for the time, but I can't really tell. Gomez has his rifle, which comes apart, and you could store it in the case. And I'm not going to do it now, but trust me, it does. And out of all the versions of Gomez I have, this one holds together the best. So it's kind of making me lean toward liking this figure most out of the other Gomez. There's a smaller barrel if you want. That I will do. So basically just unplug this in the front here. And then take this one here. Just plug that right in. Of course you have the spare mag with the bullet. I love when they do this. This looks really, really great. And well, not lastly, but for accessories, you also have the red scarf, which we've gotten with 5 Ronin, but I put it in with Street Gomez because that's the last figure we got it with. And I get it because red is Gomez's color. And then here we have the accessories that make the gun look like it's been fired. This is the wider blast. And here is the single bullet mode. And these are all the ones that came with Gomez. And now I'm going to show you the ones that have come with other figures. Now is all the accessories that we've seen in the past. This is the triple burst bullet effect that we've gotten with both Punishers, Netflix, and San Diego. And this looks really, really cool. We got C4 and a detonator, which was PX Punisher. But these look really, really cool. And I don't think we've seen this since. From the Dark Knight, so throwback, we have the grappling hook. And this rope does unravel, but I'm not going to do that right now. So this is when you want to get your full-on, like, you know, climbing the wall missions going on. From Diabolic, we have the wonderful suction cups, which do work. As you can hear it. From Deathstroke, we've got the assault rifle. And that, of course, has the spare mag. From Blade, the submachine gun. And also spare mag. From Netflix Punisher, the 1911 Colt, and of course the spare mag. And this is cool because this you could put on his side right here. I'll do that right now. There's a flap here, and it fits in nice and snug too, which I like. Yeah, you can see that. That looks really cool. And then also Punisher from Netflix, the hunting knife, and that has the sheath on the back end of the vest. And what you want to do is just be very careful in putting that in. And then there you have it, also really snug. And lastly, for other weapons, you have the bow from Arsenal and Green Arrow. But this one I feel is the better one of all of them. This is very sturdy. And my Green Arrow one broke originally. I had to get that replaced. And Arsenal's been fine, but this feels like it's the most sturdy one of all, and that's really cool. And I do like the silver wash to it, like the gunmetal look to it. This looks really awesome. And then you only get 2 single arrows. One is a regular arrow, and one is a bomb arrow. You do get a quiver. Well, not a quiver, but you do get the makeshift where it looks like a bunch of arrows in a quiver. But you don't get a quiver, and that's weird. But I've come up with the conclusion that what you do is you take the backpack and then you store it on the side. Where's the elastic? I feel like you could take this and just put it through right here. So when he's on hunting missions, you just have that, and you could still store whatever in his backpack. You know, like, that's me, but you could do what you want. Again, my imagination. And then, lastly, for accessories, this is new technically, but we've gotten it before. They took the PX previews, no, I'm sorry, San Diego edition Punisher, and took his duffel bag and made it that pleathery material. But it's the same bag. And then, of course, we have the display base and the fully articulated arm, which pretty tight, of course. You can loosen it and tighten it to your liking with the Phillips head screwdriver. And then, of course, you get the Ziploc that goes along with it, which is right here. And that's really cool. So, really quickly, I just wanted to show you guys how he compares to the other Gomez figures that I have. The suited body is the one from New York Toy Fair, and of course the one on the right is from San Diego, the Street Edition. So we have Agent, Stealth Ops, and Street Edition. These are all great figures. Again, I don't know which one I like the most. It's just an awesome design. It's their figures, their mascot. It just works, you know. And for those of you wondering, if you have the Agent Gomez, whether it be the Toy Fair one or the one that was re-released, you can have him ride the board. It does work. It holds pretty well, actually. So that's pretty cool. And if you want to see something, you know, also that I could do is that I could take the head off of this Gomez here, and I'll take the, let me move Street out of the way, take the Stealth Ops, and if you want to have Gomez take off his mask and just reveal the fact that he's, you know, just a bug, there you go. And yeah, it works. I mean, you could do the same with the other Gomez as well. You could swap the heads out. It's the same body, it's the same figure, and it's just an awesome piece. I really, really like Gomez, and again, I'm not sure which one I like the most. Well, that pretty much wraps up this video, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, liking, sharing, and subscribing. And thank you guys so much for listening to me have no energy in this video, as Comic-Con was awesome, but really, really tiring. You could follow me on social media. You could, of course, follow the channel, Bry_2J_presents on Instagram, or Bry_2J is my personal Instagram. Bry2J on Twitter. And, of course, you know, you could find this stuff eventually on InnerCityGeeks.com, where we have a ton of other cool stuff as well. And big shout out again to my ACBA family. It was really wonderful hanging out with all of you guys and girls. Just such a fun weekend, and you know, it's nice when a family comes together for something like this. And yeah, it's just awesome. Alright, so with that being said, I'm signing off, and I will see you guys in the next one when I have more energy. Alright, have a good night, and I will see you soon. Peace.
That's crisp.